Welcome back to another edition of the Futbol Forever podcast, a podcast where we talk about the Liga MX and everything going on around Mexican football. Boy, what a game that was, man. What a game leg number one of the Liga MX final was, and unfortunately, I don't mean that in a good way, man. We expected much more from both teams. And let's be honest, man, they didn't come to play, man. They did not come to play. The game was bad. Let's not sugarcoat it. It was bad. It was terrible. One of the worst leg ones of a Liga MX final I've seen in recent history. It was bad, man. It was bad. And I say that my memory is actually really bad. There might have been one that was just as bad or worse in recent time. I just don't remember. But this was bad, man. It was terrible. It was trash. And I hate using that word because I think it's overused in today's world, but it's fitting in this case, man. It definitely is fitting. So obviously in this podcast, we're going to be talking about the Liga MX final. I didn't get a chance to make a podcast, to record one, for covering and talking about the semifinals, but America destroying Pumas. I think it was a 7-2, 7-1. Did Pumas score in the... Yeah, it was 7-2. 7-2 overall. I don't know why I forgot that. I'm telling you, my memory is terrible. 7-2 aggregate score in the semifinals. And then Cruz Azul beating Monterrey in the second leg and advancing because of their position in the league table. A Monterrey team that could have brought more in that second leg of the semifinals in the Azteca, and they just really didn't show up to play. Kind of like these two teams here, that what we witnessed last night, man. Because let's be honest, man, this is a final that I think most of us wanted. You know what I mean? And I understand if you're a Chivas fan or if you're I say that, but I understand you probably wanted to see your team in the final. But if it wasn't your team and you're looking at it from a unbiased place, Cruz Azul versus America, number one versus number two, that's a very, very good final, man. That's a very good final. Numerous. There is no shortage of storylines surrounding this grand final here for the Liga MX. You have Peláez, who used to be the sporting director he wasn't even the sporting director. I think he was the president. He was the club president at Club America. Now he's leading Cruz Azul, a very successful first season with La Máquina, winning the Copa MX, making it to the grand final, winning or getting there with the first place of the league table. So successful season. So he's badmouthed America in a few occasions. El Piojo Herrera shooting back at Ricardo Peláez. You have Lainez versus Roberto Alvarado, the two young guns for Mexico that we will surely see in the next World Cup. My point is there is no shortage of storylines, right? So Cruz Azul versus America, number one versus number two. This is a final that we should all be proud of. Now, after last night, after what they put on display for us to watch last night, I have no words, man. That game was very, very bad. And it started okay. It started well, man. We all remember that save, that epic save. I will use the word epic to describe it because I thought that was it, man. I thought that was for sure going to be a goal for Cruz Azul. But Marche comes to the rescue for Club America, making a fantastic save. I think the header was off of a corner. Cata Dominguez connects the ball. And Marche seeing, to no one's surprise, it shouldn't come to a surprise. He's obviously one of the best keepers in the league, without a doubt. And he made that fantastic save. So the game started well. It had some good pace to it. It was upbeat. Similar to when these two teams met in the regular season. That's how it started, man. It was one chance on one end of the field, and then the other team would hit back with a counter, and it was exciting at the start. The middle, in between, it was I don't know what to even describe. It was very bad, man. And obviously the pitch conditions didn't help. The Azteca pitch has been terrible all season. We've beat that horse to death at this point. the pitch has been terrible all season. That's no news to anyone. They made some changes. It's better now, but still, you're watching the game. You see a pass, and the ball is just, while it's rolling on the grass, it's bouncing up randomly. It wasn't in the best conditions, which makes it a little bit harder for the players to complete their passes, and overall, that we saw that both teams were struggling to connect, 3-4 passes together. It was and that just makes for some terrible football. Let's be honest. It makes for some terrible football. It was this game was a chess match. It was obvious that both teams were with the handbrake on. They were with their emergency brake on. They really didn't want to fully let go because they were more afraid of getting scored on than actually going and hunting for a goal themselves. The strikers Caraglio and Martinez did not have a good match. I think Roger Martinez, who unfortunately for America left the pitch with a hamstring injury. We'll see. It's very doubtful though that he will be able to participate in the second leg of this grand final. But I thought he had a decent performance. He had a nice play there to start the second half where he passed the ball to Mateus Uribe. Uribe connects, but Chuy Corona was there to make that save. So Royer was okay here and there. He's played well. He's played decent aside from that missed penalty against Pumas in leg one of the semifinals. He's played well in this Liguilla, which might give America some hope that their investment wasn't a complete waste. Maybe he'll start turning it on. I'm not sure. I think a lot of America fans are done with this guy. Like I said in a podcast a few weeks or months ago, I'm not fully ready to pull the plug on Roger Martinez. It was a heavy investment for Club America, and it might pay off. Like I said, he's been decent. He hasn't been great this Liguilla. But yeah, he had some nice moments in last night's match. His FIFA score rating isn't all that high though. For either striker, for Caraglio or for Martinez. Martinez has a 6.3 FIFA score rating, and Milton Caraglio has a 6.4. So it was a slow night, not a ton of action for either striker, and it was really just a chess match. You know what I mean? It was and also a battle of the midfield. You have the two best central defensive midfielders in Liga MX here, battling it off with Ivan Marcone and Guido Rodriguez. These two are the best without a doubt. In my opinion, Guido Rodriguez takes the number one spot right now because, he's been doing it longer in Liga MX. I think I give him the slight edge, but, I'm sure with stats and arguments, you can maybe convince me that Marcone is better. I don't know. I think a lot of people think Marcone is better. Some people agree that Guido Rodriguez is better. They're the best in the game. They're the best, in the Liga MX at least. I don't mean to say the best in the game like they're the best in the world, but these two guys are insane. And I think last night Ivan Marcone was definitely the best player in the pitch. He had a FIFA score rating of 7.8. The guy is something else, man. He out of 15 duels, he won 12. This dude is insane. And Guido Rodriguez, he had a decent match, but definitely outshined by Ivan Marcone. I think in the regular season, when these two teams met each other, Guido Rodriguez had the fantastic match. And I think in that instance, he outshined Marcone. In this case, in the grand final, Marcone shows up and is the best player in the pitch, in my opinion. But, it was a very, very lackluster game from both teams, to be honest with you. And it leaves me with a very sour taste in my mouth because I was looking forward to this damn final to cheer me up a little bit. If you guys follow me on Twitter, at Futbol_forever, you saw I posted a picture, I think a few hours before the match. I got rear-ended. I was waiting in a red light. Then I think it was a GMC Yukon. I'm just there at a full stop, and a GMC Yukon comes and rear ends us. Pretty bad, man. The car might be a total loss. I'm really crossing my fingers that's not the case. But what's important is that no one was seriously hurt. My girlfriend was in the passenger seat. we're just shaken up a little bit. We're sore. My neck is still a little stiff. My back is a little sore because of the whiplash. But thankfully, no one was seriously injured. Everything's okay. If the car is totaled, then we'll get another one, and it's all right. So I apologize for going on a personal rant or going into personal news, but it all ties back to I was looking forward to this damn match, man. I was looking forward to leg number 1 of the grand final, especially because as many of you guys know, I'm an America fan. So there's nothing like seeing your team in a grand final. You know what I mean? The nervousness, the anxiousness, the excitement, the hype, all that, man. All the emotions bottled up into that, and I was really looking forward to the game because I was to be honest with you, I was down in the dumps a little bit. I was feeling sad because of and stressed out because now I'm dealing with insurance agents and giving my statement of what happened and dealing with the repair shop and having to go rent a car, all that stuff that you have to do when you get into an accident. I'm having to deal with that, so it stresses you out. Then you're in pain. So I was down, man. I wasn't in my best moods, and this game was a distraction for me, like it is for all of us. But the game was not very good, man. It was not the best final that we could have hoped for. It was absolutely a terrible match. It looked like a match from week 1 or week 2 where the teams are completely off rhythm and they're just trying to find their rhythm. Just coming out of preseason, that's what it looked like. But no, this is a freaking grand final. So, it upsets me, man. It upsets me that both these teams come out and put that on display for all of us, because it's not a good look for the league, man. For the number 1 of the league table and the number 2 to face off in the grand final and then put that as a show, that is not what you want to see. Like I said, sure, the game had its moments. That save again from Marchesín early in the first half, and then friggin' who was it? Cauterucho, man. Cauterucho, I believe, had the victory for Cruz Azul in injury time. There was 5 minutes added of injury time. I think in the 92nd minute, Cruz Azul gets a breakaway. Caraglio has it, man. He has Marchesín beat. He has the goal at his feet. And his shot hits the crossbar. Unlucky for Cruz Azul right there, because obviously that goal could have changed the series. America would have came into leg number 2 with a completely different mindset. I'm sure Cruz Azul would have done the same. That could have changed the course of this grand final for leg 2 for the remaining 90 minutes, or maybe even some if they go to overtime and penalties. But it was unlucky for Cruz Azul that ball hits the crossbar. So I think overall, Cruz Azul was the team that was closest to actually scoring, because of that Marchesín save early and that Caraglio shot that hit the crossbar late. Cruz Azul was the team that was closest to finding the goal, but I think neither one of these teams deserved a goal in this match, because they were more focused on not getting scored on than going and hunting for that goal. They were more afraid of getting hurt than going and hurting the opponent, if you will. So a goal would have been too much of a prize for either side. Now, it's football. If Cruz Azul would have scored that, you can't say it was undeserved or anything like that, because I understand it's football. It's not about deserving it and about whatever. It's about, putting it in the back of the net at the end of the day. But Cruz Azul wasn't able to do that there at the feet of Caraglio or of Cauterucho in the 92nd minute. And that's another thing that pissed me off, man, because after that happened, right, in the 92nd, 93rd minute of injury time, that's when the teams finally decide to play. That's when they finally decide to show some intensity and go forward. Like, what is that all about? Why couldn't y'all do that? Why couldn't y'all do that during the course of the match? In the fifth, why did y'all have to wait till the end of the match to add some drama? Because the beginning and the end of the match was exciting. There was almost a brawl breaking out at the end of the match between the benches. But so there was excitement at the beginning, at the end of the match, but wow, the middle of the game, it was terrible, man. It was absolutely terrible. Like I said, it was just the team struggling to connect 4 passes with one another, a ton of long balls that were completely off the mark or would simply get cut off by both defenses. Both of these teams, man, have very good defenses. I think Cruz Azul, of course, with the best defense in the league, but America has a good defense as well. It's not like they're bad or anything like that at defense. So you have the best offense in America, scoring 40-something plus goals, including Liguilla, and you have Cruz Azul with the best defense. The best offense versus the best defense, and that's what y'all come up with? That's the match that y'all put together? Man, come on now. Now, I understand it's 2 legs, so they were saving themselves. Of course, they left it all up for leg number 2 of the Liga MX final, but, what about leg number 1? That counts too. So I wish one of the teams would have taken the initiative and showed something in this first leg, but that wasn't the case, and we found ourselves with a very, very, very poor match. So on behalf of both these teams, man, I will formally apologize to you guys that had to witness that and had to watch that. Trust me, I felt the pain too, man. It was not an enjoyable match to watch, but we have at least the Chivas match to look forward to tomorrow. When is it? Saturday morning. I'm not even sure at what time it is. I'll have to do a quick Google search. So it looks like it's at 7 a.m. Central. Not bad, man. Not bad at all. The quarterfinals here, the Club World Cup, Las Chivas. So we have that to look forward to while we wait on leg number 2 of the Liga MX Grand Final. Chivas facing off here in the quarterfinals against Kashima Antlers in Dubai. So wishing Chivas the best, of course. Chivas fans hyped for this match. Sorry, Chivas fans, you guys had to witness that terrible leg 1 of the Liga MX final, man. But you have your team to look forward to, and it should be exciting, man. Because Real Madrid is down in the dumps, man. So if you can get past Kashima Antlers, which I believe Chivas can. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to beat Real Madrid or anything. I'm not saying Chivas is going to beat Real Madrid, but if you were going to beat Real Madrid at some point, it's now, man. It's now or never, because this Real Madrid team coming off of a terrible, terrible loss to CSKA Moscow, I believe it was, defeating them, in the Champions League, and this team is in a crisis mode. Real Madrid is down in the dumps. They're in a crisis. They've been like that since Lopetegui. Now they're like that with Solari. So if you were gonna beat Chivas, if you were gonna beat Real Madrid, it's now, Chivas. You gotta do this now. And I'd like to see a surprise like that. Or River beating Real Madrid in the final. I want to see something different. It's always the European club that ends up winning the Club World Cup. A Club World Cup that doesn't usually, no matter who is in it, doesn't usually have a lot of hype behind it. I think they need to revisit the format of it. I don't know, man. I don't know what they need, but the Club World Cup, I'm pretty sure most of the time when the European club wins it, they really don't think much of it. They don't really care for it all that much. But this year, I would like to see someone else win it. I would, maybe if River gets to the final against Real Madrid, if Chivas isn't able to beat Kashima or Real Madrid, then I'd like to see River Plate win it, man. Why the hell not? So. A River team that is coming off of a victory against their eternal rival Boca Juniors in a weird Copa Libertadores final, man, in the Santiago Bernabeu. That was definitely odd, but it was an exciting match nonetheless. So anyway, man, we have plenty of football to distract us. And to get that bad taste out of our mouth from leg 1 of the Liga MX final. I'm still upset about it, man. I'm still upset. I haven't seen any of the talk, the Futbol Picantes and the Última Palabras and all that, the analysis shows, the talk shows for Liga MX, because the final still has me upset, man. It really does. Leg 1 was absolutely terrible, and we can just hope that leg number 2 is a little bit better, at least, man. I'm expecting a lot more. Once again, I'm going to put my trust in both these teams. I'm going to get my hopes up again and hope that both of them come out with different ideas for leg number 2. Now, it's going to be a little bit more difficult probably for Club America because Mateus Uribe going down with an ankle sprain and Roger Martinez he pulled a hamstring. I don't know how serious it is for either one of them. The Uribe one definitely looked more serious. He had to go to the hospital, during the match. But thankfully he didn't tear his ACL. Thankfully for him, he didn't tear his ACL. They have ruled that out, so his knees are okay. I think it's just an ankle sprain for now, but I'm pretty sure that'll keep him out off the pitch for leg number 2. And I haven't read or heard anything about Roger Martinez, but at least for Roger, I think he's replaceable. You have Henry Martin on the bench. You have Oribe Peralta on the bench. So, there is a good replacement for him. There's not a very good replacement for Mateus Uribe. Although, I understand Uribe hasn't had the best season. This year, even the World Cup was absolutely terrible for Mateus Uribe, missing that penalty with Colombia and all that ended up eliminating Colombia from the World Cup. It hasn't been his year. After a very successful start with Club America. It hasn't been his year, but he's still a very important player in the Club America roster, and they will definitely miss him if he, doesn't end up playing leg number 2 of the Liga MX final, man. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have for you guys, man. That's all I have. Again, we sorry for all of us that we had to witness that Liga MX final, leg 1. It was absolutely terrible, but let's look forward to leg number 2 and hope that it's better on Sunday night, man. And of course, watch Chivas in the Club World Cup. Wish them the best against Kashima Antlers. I'm glad it's not super early for me, man. It's at 7 a.m. Central, so it is early, especially for a weekend. I usually though try to wake up kind of early to catch some of the Premier League matches. If there's a good one, of course, or one that I really want to watch. So, it won't be all that bad waking up at 7 a.m. on a Saturday to see Chivas and their debut here in this Club World Cup. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I know it wasn't very long. It's short and sweet, but we don't have much to talk about with this damn final. Not yet, at least. So we'll see. I'll check back into you guys next week after this is all set and done. We'll see. We'll have a new champion, man. Either Cruz Azul after 21 years of chasing this title, or Club America with their 13th title in their club history. It would bump them once again in front of Chivas. So I know America is definitely looking to conquer this one. So anyway, thank you guys for listening once again, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Futbol Forever out.